the man, the myth, the legend. That is Joe Schad. How you feeling, baby? How you feeling? You feeling good?
What's up, Big O? Doing well. Kind of wish I was at that game at Baltimore. It would have been good to be there in person, but I did enjoy watching it from my couch. Very exciting, very encouraging, very thrilling. This is shaping up to be a very interesting season.
Um, does it get to a point now where you actually think they have a shot this week? Because I had them. I mean, I know I'm a nutbag, and I had them 3-1 to start the season, even before all of this started. I had them winning these last 2 weeks, so I was surprised the way they won this week, obviously. But I still thought that they would beat the Ravens, and they did, and I thought they would beat the Bengals, and looks like they may. And they got a shot at beating the Bengals the way they've started the season so far. But now, after this performance, do they even have a shot against the Bills in Joe Schad's eyes?
Tough sledding. As we know, Buffalo has dominated the series in recent years. Very difficult to even think about how you're going to slow down Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. I thought that maybe the line would go down from 4.5 points after how well the Dolphins performed in their comeback last week. But after last night, the line actually went the other way. It went to 5.5. So, the one thing that gives the Dolphins a little hope is that Buffalo is really decimated by significant injury, especially in the secondary. So if Miami's offensive line can continue to show vast improvement, then perhaps they will give Tua a little bit of a chance to put up, 28 or more points, which is absolutely necessary when you're playing the Buffalo Bills. You're going to have to score more than 28 points.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And by the way, Miami is also missing somebody significant from their secondary too. Just to kind of be fair there, while they're hurting too, that is the one area where Miami is hurting. And I'm with you. Yeah, they're going to have to score points. Should it give Dolphin fans a lift that maybe that fourth quarter now gives the Dolphins the kind of confidence that they need as an offense, that they could go out there and put more points and be a little bit more explosive? After all, they are the fourth highest scoring offense in the NFL right now.
Yeah, it changes everything. It changes everything about how we view the Dolphins offense, which has been so poor for so many years. It should change the way we.
Oh, we lost you. Did you notice that? I think he was about to say should change the way we look at Tua, and the phone crapped out on him. Look at that. Are you back?
Yeah, what I was saying was it should change the way we view Tua Tagovailoa in the way he led a comeback and the way he completed numerous deep passes. Yes, it's true the Ravens had a busted coverage on one of them. But hey, he got it out there. He threw the ball.
So did Miami.
So
did Miami with Lamar. So big deal. That happens too.
Tua, I'm saying Tua showed that he can throw the ball deep enough. And, we saw it oftentimes in practice. We talked this offseason about how Tua was healthier and more confident and physically stronger and could throw a better deep pass. And it was really nice to see it, happen on Sunday. The whole thing with Tua is, hey, show us. And there is no doubt in the fourth quarter, he showed us all.
Oh, yeah. There is one guy that had no doubt. I'm just saying, there's just one guy that never had a doubt in him.
Colin Cowherd?
Colin Cowherd. Is that guy too? Is he? I don't watch Cowherd. Is he a Tua hater or a Tua believer?
Well,
I know Eisen's a believer. That one I know.
Colin started off as saying that Tua was the it factor and everything, and then he said, well, now he's too small and he doesn't have a big enough arm and he does not special at anything. And then before the season, he said he's going to have a very good year. I've changed my mind after seeing the deep pass that was leaked on social media. And then after Sunday's game, he went back the other way and said, you know what, you guys are all overreacting. Tua did nothing special. He's still not great. He's still not as good as the other quarterbacks. So, you know,
now you know why I don't listen to that idiot.
I mean, sometimes he makes some really interesting points and some interesting analogies. It's got to be a tough spot, though. When you are in his chair or Skip Bayless's chair, you have, I guess, a responsibility to dramatically overreact and to throw out wildly strong theories that are just way over the top. I mean, that's sort of part of their job, I guess, right?
I've just never been the guy that stirs it up just to stir it up. I'm gonna stir it. I'm gonna stir it up because I believe in it. Yeah. That's why. Well, no, you look at it that way, but in the middle of a winning streak, and I'm telling you Flores is going to get fired, you think I'm stirring it up, but I'm not stirring it up. And 3-4 years ago when I write for The Athletic and on Sirius and on QAM, and I say, go fire Gase and Tannenbaum and hire Greer. That's not popular to say because Greer's not popular, and they did it. And it's not popular to say fire a Flo in the middle of a winning streak, but it's what I believe, okay? Or maybe sometimes what I know also. But, you know, overall, it's when I say something, I say it with conviction. And yeah, dude, I'm the guy that said I'm in the middle of all these controversies. You sign Sue, and I say it's a terrible deal. So now I'm in the crosshairs of Dolphin fans because I say Sue. I was in the crosshairs for Ryan Tannehill for many, 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 many years until many, many, many years. Some of you all caught up to me when I finally told you from the get-go, he's not a real quarterback. He's a game manager at best. He'll never be the guy that decides games. And it took people 10 years to figure that out. So, yeah, dude, I'm in the middle of freaking controversies. But I'm in the middle of the controversies because I believe my belief in it. Just like I've always believed Tua was a player. Always. Okay?
Well, he needed to get healthy. He needed better
coaching and talent. And coaching and talent, bro. Yeah, I watched Steve Young in Tampa. And then I watched Steve Young in San Francisco. I know what it's like when great players don't have support. I've watched Archie Manning take a pounding. I watched Steve Bartkowski not have help in Atlanta. I've watched great quarterbacks have no help and die on the vine. And I've watched great quarterbacks have help and have all the success in the world. And we had a guy in Marino here that they never gave him a defense. They never gave him a running game. And quite honestly, they never gave him the right side of the line either. Let's just call it like we see it. Shula failed in many areas around Marino, and that's Marino. And he was never able to win it all. And it's not Marino's fault. It's just everyone needs help, including Tua. That's why I'm having a blast. Last night, Josh Allen throws a ball to a guy that's 7 yards away, and it lands 5 yards away. And if it's Tua, the entire internet explodes. But it's him. Nobody says anything. I'm watching Mahomes and Herbert on Thursday night. One underthrown pass after another. Almost interceptions. But then they treat Tua completely different when he does exactly the same thing.
Well, let me ask you this. You're big on this thing that – oh, hold on. You're big on this thing that Tua is treated differently and treated unfairly. So I want to ask your opinion. No, but I want to ask your opinion.
Right.
Why do you think that is? Why?
Oh, I already know. I've talked about this already.
Why?
We hate perfect people. We can't stand them. We are dying to tear Tebow down.
Tebow wasn't hated. Tebow was beloved.
Oh my
Tebow
God,
was beloved.
He and polarizing at the same time. People couldn't stand his ass.
Because of his skill. I think
no.
I think Tebow was immensely popular in the same way Tua is.
And so is Russell Wilson. But these three dudes, we do everything we can to tear them down because they are perfect. They handle everything the right way. They are corny. They are none of them are really like the kind of people that you're used to in sports. They're not braggadocious. They don't have some kind of nasty edge to them. They're not in trouble. They say all the polite things. It's the weirdest thing in our society, dude. Russell Wilson does nothing except the right things in life, and all we do is make fun of what he wears or a promo that he does or that this is corny or what. We cut him up left and right. We do the same shit to Tebow, and we do the same shit to Tua Tagovailoa.
It's an interesting point. I think I think there's some validity to it. Like I don't like Derek Jeter because he annoys me. Like I don't like him. And a lot of people like Derek Jeter. He's very popular, but there are some people who find him sort of annoying.
Right? I get it.
But I do also. Right.
And he does everything the right way. And he does everything the right way. And he's kind of boring,
including
all
the gift baskets. So the thing is,
it's weird. It's a weird dynamic.
I understand your point, but I do also think that there was a group of people, fans, coaches, scouts, executives, who thought that Tebow didn't deserve the hype.
Right.
And I think similarly, and here's the thing, it's not just fans, it's coaches, scouts, executives, and other players who have looked at Tua's play and said it doesn't, up until this season, doesn't warrant or merit the hype. And I think that's fair. I think would you say that that's fair? That Tua's play in his first two seasons did not live up to the hype?
I think the problem is they're not taking everything to account. And then some people still have they're size queens. And they're still locked into, well, the quarterback has to be shaped like this. He has to be 6'3", 6'5", and he has to be able to have a rocket arm, or he has to be an incredible athlete and all that. And they've painted themselves into that picture. And I'll give you a great example. Have you watched Sean Payton in the last 72 hours? Have you watched him at all?
I mean, he reversed course and said he was wrong.
Yeah.
But
we're talking about a Super Bowl winning coach, a guy that we call an offensive guru. Okay? Do you think that effing moron, because that's what he is?
Sean Payton can't possibly be a moron.
He's a moron because all he did was play politics. Listen, 3 days ago, he goes, well, no, I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to play. Do you know how fucking stupid that sounds? Do you know how fucking insulting that is to anybody that knows football? Teddy Bridgewater couldn't hold the jock to Tua.
Well, I think it was more a lack of belief in Tua.
Yeah, but don't sell me this Bridgewater shit because you signed him and because he was on your team and you coached him. Oh, no, I coached Teddy, this, that. Teddy has never had a dynamic offense in his life because he has nothing dynamic in him. He's just a guy. He's always been just a guy. And to compare him to a guy that won a national title coming off the bench and a guy that's got a winning record with shit talent around him in the first 2 years is insulting. And then he changes his mind 3 days later because he realizes that he played politics instead of actually talking football. And that's where I lost all respect for Sean Payton.
It's
a guy that was also playing. He's also playing for this freaking job too at the same time.
Listen, it's tough to make.
Remember what Jimmy did to Shula? You remember what Jimmy did to Shula?
Well, he's going to be the Cowboys coach, but it's tough to make sweeping conclusions about a quarterback's entire future based on the first game of this season. And it's a little bit, too far to make sweeping grand conclusions about Tua Tagovailoa's entire career based on, the second game of the season. So
but it's all right to label him after he's coming off a hip injury 9 months later to start on a terrible team. It's all right to label him a bust, noodle arm, can't play, he's lazy, plays too much golf. Come on, dude.
Listen,
see, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
No, hold on.
So we can't praise him. We can't praise him, but we can slam him.
Right. So you use the word lazy.
I didn't.
No, you just did. So I'm pretty sure that even Mike McDaniel, who we love, adore, cherish, big fan, great guy, great coach, tactician, genius, lifts everyone up, makes everyone feel good. Even I think Mike said that Tua is putting in more time, preparing differently this year than what he had heard about Tua in the past. So maybe there's a little granular of truth here or there, which, that's okay, right? It's okay if maybe he's preparing a little better.
I think he's preparing probably better and different because he actually has real coaches that know how to prepare him. He was working with the Three Stooges last year. So, and he wasn't wanted. That's the other thing. The guy didn't want him around. Hell, the Baltimore week, which a year later, okay, he told them, dude, you're not playing this week. That's why he went to go play golf. You're not playing this week. So that's it. He was done. This is a guy that wasn't wanted. So it's different when you're not wanted around by your head coach. You're not going to have the same access. You're not going to feel the same way. You're not going to want to do things the same way because you're not wanted.
I'm trying to remember what was the golf. I agree with you, but the golf thing became a big deal. What did he have, a hand injury?
Yeah, and he still could play.
So, I know.
So if he can play golf, he can't play for you? That's stupid.
But listen, let's be honest here. If a starting quarterback in the NFL has a hand injury in season, if he had to do it over again, Tua probably would have skipped that particular round.
Why?
Right? Well, because you have a hand injury and you're in season.
They told him you're not wanted.
You got to. Optics are important. You got when you're the quarterback in the NFL, you got to be aware of optics.
No. The optics are you're dealing with an asshole that doesn't want you around, dude. And what are you gonna do? I mean, it's just you're asking him to force an issue that the guy doesn't want you around. He told you he didn't want you. Okay, that's the kind of relationship that was going. And what was the MO out there? He didn't want to be a captain. No, dude. Now you learned, right? Everybody had to politic to be a captain. That's the stupidest thing in the world to help make people. And he's not going to go. X is not going to politic to be a captain, and neither is Tua. That's not the kind of dudes they are.
It doesn't matter now, but in my opinion.
But you asked.
Tua, hold on. Tua should. No, you brought up the captaincy.
You asked the unfair treatment. You asked about the unfair treatment.
I understand. It's a good conversation. In my perspective, in my opinion, Tua should have, it's uncomfortable and, you didn't want to do it. He probably should have gone up there and said, listen, I would love to be a captain. I consider myself a leader of this football team, and it would be an honor to be your captain, and sit down. If he had done that, he probably, would have gotten the captain votes. So, I kind of think that, in retrospect, maybe a guy the head coach doesn't want to start wants to be captain. Well, and players are going to vote for a guy that the head coach doesn't want to start to be captain. Come on. So you think if he stood in front of the room and said, "I'd love to be your captain," you still don't think he would have gotten the votes?
Yeah, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, he manipulated everything. How people got voted captain and all that. He in the middle of practice, he probably said, "Yeah, you see what McCourty's doing? Yeah, you got to do things that he does." And then everybody looks at it and says, "Oh, the coach likes him, and coach likes him, and we'll vote for what the coach likes." They're all sheep. You know that. They're all sheep. They repeat what the coach says. Hey, tell the media this, this, and this, and they all repeat it.
Well, that's a little bit different now. Thank God. It's a little bit different. These guys,
different now.
Are able to say what they think. They're able to say what they feel. They're not being, have all the stuff drilled into their brain about, it's great. It's, and I haven't been around, unfortunately, due to my little eye injury, but it is a different vibe, man. It's a great vibe. It's so much fun. Football in Florida is fun again. The Dolphins offense is fun. The Dolphins team is fun and exciting. They're nationally
you're covering
relevant.
A human being.
Yeah,
you're covering a human being. That's why you weren't covering a human being last year.
And Phil Simms, I don't know if you saw this. Chris Simms' dad said on the CBS pregame show, I believe it was CBS. Yeah, he said, "Well, we'll see if Mike McDaniel's way works." After they played some clips of Mike making some, funny quips in his press conference, and of course the assertion is, if you're not Bill Parcells, you don't have a chance to win. And obviously we disagree with that.
Yeah, no, that's plain stupid. There, did you watch Joe Madden? He won it. And he's as quirky and does all kinds of things as a manager, and he ends up winning. There's no right way, dude. That's so stupid. I'm Phil Sim. I watched Dick Vermeil cry to a title. I watched Jimmy Johnson and John Madden act like maniacs on a thing. I watched Tony Dungy, who's a cigar store mannequin. So is Tom Flores, by the way. Neither one of those guys had any emotion on the sidelines. They barely talked. They did nothing except win.
You know,
Okay, Tom Flores has 2 Super Bowls, and Tony Dungy has 1. 3 Super Bowls, 2 guys that didn't say a goddamn word on the sidelines.
You know, our Hal Habib wrote an interesting column on the Palm Beach Post. It's on the website. You can check it out. And I also did something about 10 things I think on, based following Sunday's victory. But he wrote, listen, you can say this or that or the other thing about Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, but let's give him some credit for hiring Mike McDaniel. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Sure, I have no problem that he was. Well, what I think is he gave Chris Greer the opportunity to then bring in a guy like Mike McDaniel, and then that he gave what I give him.
It was a long shot.
What I give him credit is
that he
hired
who
Chris
no one else
and
was
stuck
interviewing.
him.
Yeah, no one else was interviewing him. He was a young, upstart, hotshot, genius guy, wonder kid and all that sort of stuff. What do they say that? Wonderkind? Yeah. And Ross has hired people like that in his businesses. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting thought.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there overall. There's no doubt. I give him credit for that. And the other stuff, obviously, we can take for a grain of salt. All right, so just out of curiosity, people talk that it's going to be hard to have a high-powered offense with 2 weeks in. You're 4th in the league with 62 points. Then the other thing that I found interesting, stat came out here, QBs drafted in 2020. And Tua has a 652 winning percentage. Jalen Hurts has a 500. Herbert has a 471 winning percentage, and Burrow a 446. Interesting that Tua overall and throughout his career has had less offensive talent than Herbert and Burrow too, by the way. And yet he has a better winning percentage. I can also argue he probably had those guys had better coaches last year too, and offensive coaches.
Well, the Bengals were terrible. And, like in Burrow's first year, the Bengals were terrible. But, the whole thing
I'm not really using Burrow so much.
The whole thing about whether quarterback win percentage is really a team stat is an interesting discussion. I think I understand both sides of the debate. I think it's a relevant statistic, but we obviously can't put too much into it because there's so many factors that go towards whether or not a team wins or loses. For example, Tua 0-3 against the Bills. Now, one of those games he didn't play, I think he got knocked out, right? But 0-3, 1 touchdown, 4 picks. So, that doesn't mean he's a terrible quarterback just because he's 0-3 against the Bills. You know what I mean? So, let's see how he does against the Bills.
Well, he's played them with terrible talent. This is the first time he's actually going to face the Bills with the kind of ammunition you need to beat the Bills. That's what you cannot argue, that the prior times he never had a chance because he never had the weapons or the coaching to overcome that. Now he has the coaching and he has the weapons, and you're not supposed to win this week, but at least this is the week where he finally has a shot. And that's what's realistic. The other times, come on, dude.
And it's got to be competitive. It's got to be competitive. Don't get blown out.
Jesse Davis is your right tackle, bro. You're not going anywhere with that. I'm sorry.
Well, he shouldn't have been a tackle. Nice guy.
Great guy. Great guy.
Lover of dogs.
Great guy. Great guy. So is Ryan Tannehill. Fantastic young man. Don't want him anywhere near my quarterback position. Fantastic young man.
It's funny. Listen, statistics lie. I did think it was interesting that entering last night's game, Tua Tagovailoa and Ryan Tannehill have identical career passer ratings of 91.8, which ranked tied for 15th among current NFL quarterbacks. Now, obviously, Tannehill is an average NFL quarterback whose career is on the descent. We are hoping that Tua's career is in fact on the ascent.
Yes, yes, and I would say that Tua probably, even with terrible talent the first 2 years, probably has a better winning percentage overall too, because he's done a pretty good job considering what he has overall. All right, are you doing the tape don't lie stuff this week?
Not yet. I will
Okay.
eventually get back to it. It's a little bit tough with the vision to sit there and study the all 22. I will. I'm starting to get back slowly but surely, and appreciate you hanging with me off camera for now. I will get back on camera at some point. Look forward to that very much.
Yeah, we got to get you back on camera, because maybe I can take myself off camera so that way I don't torture people with my face as much as I normally do. So we've got to, yeah, we've definitely got to get you back on, so at least there's somebody half decent looking here on the show, because I need
one of my friends. I need one of my friends to drive me over to Hijinks Sports Bar and Grill in Boca. I can't drive right now, so maybe an Adam Beasley, if you're listening, a Safed Dean, a David Furonis, somebody come pick me up and bring me to lunch over at Hijinks Sports Bar and Grill. I need a break.
Safed looks like a selfless person. Beasley looks like he's completely selfish. I don't think you're going to get any help from Beasley whatsoever. But Safed looks like a cool guy, and he looks like a fellow that would help a fellow brother out. So I have hope for you that Safed will do it. Adam, I have zero. Adam, I don't even think we'll be able to find your home. So that's the problem too. I think he'll probably get lost on his way over there, even with a GPS. So it'll be tough for Adam. I can tell you that. All right, what are you working on in the Palm Beach Post? What are you and Hal Habib working on in the Palm Beach Post?
Yeah, I want you to look up. I want you to look up all the very, very nice things, in all sincerity, that I have to say about Tua Tagovailoa. Look that up.
I posted it. Time.
Listen. I try to tell you what I believe and what I see, and what I saw was really, really great. So look it up, and I might dive into the whole Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle versus Mark Duper and Mark Clayton. I know it's a little early, but
yeah, way too early. That's some ridiculous stuff.
No. The point is, these guys statistically have already done something Duper and Clayton never did.
I get that, but it's a different game, and it's just not fair, and all that kind of stuff.
They're faster, right? They are faster.
I would say both of them combined are faster. Mark Clayton is the most athletic one of them all. Okay, now that's not even up for debate. Okay,
well, I think it's great that we can talk about how the Dolphins again have one of the best receiving tandems in the NFL.
Mark Clayton can dunk. He could sky in the air. He had incredible body control. That guy could, I don't know if you know this, but he could squat like 500 pounds. Wow. Mark Clayton was a freakish athlete, dude. Freakish. When he was playing, I'll tell you this, okay? He was second only to Jerry Rice at that time. And that people don't give him enough credit for that. Rice is the greatest I've ever seen. He is the best. I'll say it hands down. But during that stretch, Mark Clayton was the second best receiver in the NFL. He was awesome, dude.
The deep ball was so much fun. Dolphins since my return to the beat, Dolphins had Kenny Stills, but he didn't have great hands. My first game back on 16, he dropped it at Seattle. Yeah. That was my first game back.
That's Kenny Stills. That's Kenny Stills. Like, yeah, he had all the off the field stuff with Flo and all that, and the Jay-Z rap stuff and all that. But he's that will be
drop.
His signature play is Seattle and the drop, dude. That's his signature play for Dolphin fans forever. But you're right. You have not covered anything like what they had back with those two guys, and they're in the speed category. They beat them. The athleticism part, that's where I got to give Clayton the edge. I'll tell you this. I don't know if Duper will admit it or if anybody that played with him. I'll tell you that Tyreek and Waddle, I think, are overall better receivers than Duper. But Clayton was the monster of all monsters. I'm telling you, it's Paul Warfield and then Clayton is the way I look at it. That's how special these guys were. So
I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
And by the way, go while you're doing that story, go look up whatever something of the Superstars, Challenge of the Superstars, or whatever on ABC, and go look for Mark Clayton doing that the squatting and all that. You'll see some freakish stuff that he would do off of the football field. All right.
Before the season, Duper told me that
Battle of the Superstars. That's what it was called.
Yeah, Duper told me that Tyreek Hill reminds him of him. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm with you there. All right, doggy. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care.
You got it. That is, of course, our Hijinks sportsgrill.com Miami Dolphins report. And of course, you got it there, man. Happy hour 4 to 7 p.m. You can reserve a table. And if you call and reserve a table, they will give you a free glass of champagne, baby. Hijinks sportsgrill.com.